Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a distance Reiki session for you, guided by a tarot card deck pull. So before we get started, it would help me greatly if you could hit the subscribe button, and if you have any feedback, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it, and I do take that very seriously. Before we get started, I do need your consent to work on your energy, so either out loud in the comments, wherever you feel most comfortable, just say I consent. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I actually went ahead and pulled the first card for us to kind of turn into a shorter version for all the social media platforms, but I drew the moon in reverse. And I love these cards. They have a little quote that goes with them. And it says, "Be careful your imagination doesn't cause you to see things that aren't there." So the moon in reverse really symbolizes releasing fears. Maybe you have some repressed emotions or inner confusion, darkness, insecurities, etc. And so to kind of get this started, I'm going to be working with a crystal called Unakite. This particular crystal comes from South Africa. It's really nice, kind of green yellow, and I like this because it kind of works on digging things out. So we're going to start by digging out some of that fear, some of those repressed emotions, some of those darkness and insecurities. And to kind of start with, I'm going to work on your third eye. I'm not sure if this is just kind of how I've been feeling with the collective, or if this is just me specifically. Hopefully it's applicable to you, because that's kind of how I'm taking it. But there's really been some kind of fear about opening up your third eye and perhaps seeing things that you didn't realize were there before. Perhaps opening up your clair abilities if that's something you're interested in. But it can also be insecurities, maybe about something in work, or your relationship, or your home situation, whatever it may be. As I'm starting to work on this energy, I really want you to take some deep breaths and just fall into this kind of rhythm of your breath work. So kind of a few deep breaths to kind of get you started, and then just fall into an easy rhythm. One of the other things that perhaps you could be fearing right now is just a lot of the things happening in the world. There's a lot of strong emotions, a lot of narratives, a lot of divisiveness. And it's very easy to kind of get sucked up in what's happening with the world. And I want you to take those thoughts, and we're going to put them in a basket outside the door of whatever room you came into. Most of those things, especially things that are happening out in the world, are outside of our control. And a lot of us spend a lot of energy trying to figure out how to fix this situation without actually being able to take action on it. So if you have the capacity to take that action, that's lovely and wonderful, and I'm glad you have that as a priority in your life. But if you don't have the priority or the space for that right now, it's not worth your energy to expend on learning about it, on worrying about it. And it's a really easy thing to just let go of what's happening. And I know perhaps not everyone will agree with that philosophy, but it will do wonders for your stress level if you can let those things go. saw something on social media the other day that parents in particular these days are much more anxious than their counterparts that perhaps were parenting in the 80s or 90s. And a lot of that was because the internet didn't exist. You didn't have to Google, why is my baby's poop green, or why haven't they burped in 2 days, or whatever it may be. And coming back with all these answers that cause a lot of anxiety and fear. And it really drew something home to me that although it's wonderful to have these machines in our hands with all the information in the world at our literal fingertips, that sometimes it can cause us more harm than good. Especially in the context of new little humans, or new little puppies, or birds, or duck, cats, whatever young life you may have around you, or even plants for that matter. I've had my fair share of black thumb incidents, and all the Googling didn't save the plants because they were already too far gone by the time I got to them. And although I'm very sad for those plants that I lost, it was a learning experience in that moment about life going on. I've learned how to take care of plants much better since then. About the care required and needed to pay attention to these types of things. And knowing that you've got to try again and jump in, kind of get over those insecurities and fears to be able to move forward and grow in the space that you need to grow. Okay. It's feeling pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another card draw. I have the deck laid out in front of me. This one's kind of popping out, so let's see what it is. It is the Four of Wands, in case you wanted to see this. And the quote on it is, "Be ready for every opportunity you have worked for." And so the kind of words at the bottom of the card say celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, engagements, homes, reunions, domestic happiness, creativity, and freedom. So that's very good. So perhaps you have some fear around what you've been working for, but now is the time to celebrate, which is wonderful. And I think for this I'm going to pull my orange carnelian. This is a brilliant orange stone. It's kind of transparent with little, I'm sure you can't see it in the camera, but little streaks throughout it that are a little bit darker than the rest of the transparent stone. But this stone is really spicy, and I think it's a great cause for celebration. So where are we working on this? We're going to connect your third eye and your heart chakra. So a lot of this energy is going to be putting energy into your heart chakra. Excitement, celebration, joy. We're going to be pushing that all in. Kind of filling up this space where we held fear before and we let that go. We're going to replace it with joy and excitement and happiness. You may hear my dogs in the background. They get very excited when I do the energy work, and so sometimes it's easier to have them in the room with me than to edit out the clicking of their claws on the floor later. But I think they really enjoy this and like to be around it, because especially this exciting, positive energy. It's lots of good stuff coming your way. This kind of fits so nicely. So I do a daily card draw Monday to Friday over on my Instagram, and it's from this oracle card deck that's dog oriented, and the card for today was all about enthusiasm. And even if you're bored with whatever you're doing at the moment, you should go at it with all the enthusiasm that you can muster, because that's where the growth and the joy and excitement happens. So even though most of my day today was in fact quite boring, I did my best to do some learning and some growth on some problems that were causing me a headache. Partly because I knew that I should be able to fix said problem without having to do a lot of research, and partly because just my computer was running so slowly. Might be some of the Mercury retrograde energy that's in the air right now, although hopefully if you're watching this later, that has passed and is no longer causing you struggles. So part of this excitement and energy is really going to be aligning your head and your heart. A lot of times we can get out of alignment with what our head wants versus what our heart wants. And so in this case, because of the fears that we're experiencing in our head, but the excitement and joy in our heart, we really want to bring that heartfelt joy up to our head to kind of release ourselves of that worry. Good, so I'm going to do another card pull because it feels quite right now. Let's see what else this deck is telling me today. Oh, okay. So I pulled the Tower upright, and the quote on it is, "Always expect the unexpected." So there's going to be some sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, disaster, awakening, sudden insight. Interesting. Lots of interesting cards today. I'm not sure if these are major or minor arcana. I don't know tarot that well, so I'm still learning, which is why I like this deck so much. But I think we're going to introduce some calming energy to kind of go with this sudden upheaval. So perhaps your worst fears are going to come true, and maybe it's going to be that it's not as scary or as impactful of a situation as you perhaps thought it was going to be. So maybe you're going to lose your job, or you're fearing that for whatever reason. I hope that's not the case. But your heart has been telling you for a long time that you want a new job, you need something different. So this is going to be the universe kind of forcing you into whatever it is that's new, be it a job change, a relationship change. So it might be sudden in this case, and not kind of how you wanted to necessarily go about it, but the universe is telling you it's time. So we're going to bring some calming, grounding energy to help relax this situation. Perhaps it's already happened, perhaps it's going to happen very soon. I do not know. But I'm using a malachite crystal. It's very dense, very heavy, especially for its size. It always surprises me when I pick it up. But this is a very grounding, very calming and soothing stone. So, although there is much excitement to be had, we want to stay down on earth while we experience it. But I don't want you to ground that excited energy away, or grounding out the stress and the fear. The darkness, the insecurities. We're going to take it down a notch. So I know on the surface this feels like perhaps not what you were looking for, not what you wanted, not how you wanted it to happen, but it really is a cause for celebration and joy, even if it doesn't feel like it now. It's feeling pretty good for the calming energy, so I'm going to go ahead and do another card draw. See what else this deck is telling us. So I drew the Page of Swords. So the quote on this is, take your time to think before you act. But I drew this in reverse. So there's going to be some perhaps deception, manipulation, gossip, or bad information kind of coming about with whatever this situation is, whatever is going on with your life. So it's really about taking your time to think before you act. So I think I'm going to use selenite for this case. It's very cleansing. I think it brings a lot of clarity to situations. The structure of this stone is very one-directional. Like if you were to pull this apart, I feel like you could take it apart in little strings and it would come out as little chunks that look just like the square. We're gonna clear away whatever this deception and manipulation is and send this back to the earth to help ease you through the situation. It feels like that this is going to be coming externally towards you. So first we're going to clear that out. And then I'm going to add some protection around you to help protect you from further forces. As you're going through this situation, and whatever it may be, I want you to hold on to that joy and that celebration and that hope and that excitement, that energy that we just put in there. Because I think that's really going to help get you through whatever this situation is. And just know that if you haven't gotten to the good part yet, that it's not over yet. There's more to come. And it will take some time. And it might be hard because of the time it takes. But it's gonna be okay. really make sure that all your chakras are in alignment and have some good flow going through them. You've still got that excited energy in your heart moving up to your head. Release that fear from your mind. We're cleansing whatever negativity is coming your way. And I'm going to use some black obsidian for protection. So whatever yuckiness, negativity might be coming your way, may you remain protected from it. May the energy of this obsidian keep the negativity, the harm, the energy that's being sent towards you away from you. And may you hold on to the joy and the hope, the excitement, and the knowing that this too shall pass. As I'm layering this protection on you, I'd love if you thought of a white light surrounding your body. Maybe it just comes off the sides of your skin like your aura. I want you to think of it in enveloping your whole body. Think of it enveloping your body like a giant hug of love and joy and calm and peace. And that by filling your cup with all this positivity, there's no space for this negativity to come in your motion, or to come in your space. This black obsidian is such a small stone, but it's so powerful. Feel that armor building up around you. If it's perhaps a relationship status that's changed, perhaps this partner that's no longer with you is trying to manipulate you, but this is going to act as a protection to say, I'm not falling for that anymore. This is no longer serving me. And I don't need this in my life anymore. And that's an exciting thing. Okay, things are feeling pretty good here. I think we're gonna do one last card pull for this session. This one's kind of calling my name. So the last one, okay, is the Six of Wands. The quote on this is, "You have earned every one of your successes." So, like I said earlier, you're going to come out of this victorious. There's going to be progress, rewards, self-confidence, good news, good fortune, achievement, promotion, public recognition. This is very good. It's kind of the story of whatever is happening. This one doesn't feel like it needs a stone. I think we're just gonna reinforce all this excitement in your heart space and send it through your entire body. One thing I love about tarot is I never intended to have it tell a story, but it always ends up telling a story of some sort. It's not always good news. That's why I kind of shy away from it sometimes. Sometimes it feels like it can be quite the downer and quite negative. But in this case, even though it feels like very realistic, like things are gonna suck sometimes. People can hurt you, jobs can hurt you. Hopefully not physically in any of those cases, but they take an emotional toll on you when you're heavily invested and you care about something a lot. But being able to recognize when it no longer serves you and taking the time to work on your energies so that you can remain at peace and calm and level-headed and going where you need to go is so hugely important. And in this case, it feels like a very good reminder that you're going to come out on top. You're going to be victorious. There's going to be progress and growth and learning. So even if you're not there now, know that it's coming. And it's a great reminder to myself as well as I continue working on this channel, working on my abilities, working on my spiritual practice, working on my yoga practice, working on my career. All of these aspects are important to me, and as long as I keep pushing forward, even if it's very slow some days or even backwards some days, perhaps not coming through as expected, the hard work will be rewarded. Still feel that very excited energy in your heart space. It's working on your head. You just gotta let it. But your energy feels very grounded, very centered, very balanced. And I'm excited to see what comes for you, what comes for me next, and how this particular chapter of whatever story you're in now ends, and which one perhaps starts the next chapter. So thank you for taking the time to be with me here today. I hope you enjoyed this practice, this energy work, and this tarot reading, and that I hope it resonates with you. And that you come out better on the other side.